Alright, I am doing an update on my research, and today I am reading Wings of Ecstasy, the biography of Saint Joseph of Cupertino, and it's by Michael Grosso, or he writes the foreword for it, and then he self-publishes the biography. But Michael Grosso, he wrote a biography, or he wrote his own book called "The Man Who Could Fly," Saint Joseph of Cupertino, and the mystery of levitation. And so I will be reading that book also, and I'm gonna be reading Gunter Nims's book on superluminal signals and even acoustic superluminal signals. And I just finished reading the superluminal universe about the microtubules as metamaterials, and that book relies on the research of Gunter Nims, but also the research of Emilio del Guidici, and the idea being that the water, when it is trapped in the proteins, and in this case the microtubules in the body and the neurons, then the density of the water causes a electromagnetic field to have a negative refractive index as a metamaterial. And so the trapped water then has a reverse time and superluminal virtual photon energy, and the research of the authors of Superluminal Universe argue that this coherent water inside the microtubule then creates a virtual photon signal between the microtubules, because the electromagnetic field has a wavelength longer than the microtubule, but due to the coherent water, then there is this reverse time negative frequency signal, a virtual photon signal. And this is so Gunter Nims is the basis of the start of the book, and they go into the critique of his work, and you can find that on the Wikipedia page about him. But he had his own book published that he says, very clearly explains his research, and I started reading that because the first chapter is a free preview, and essentially it's the same thing. It corroborates my own emphasis on time and frequency instead of wavelength and momentum. And so all the critiques of NIMPs are claiming that the signal has to be a modulated amplitude signal, and therefore it's not superluminal. But he's saying that no, if you look at the signal science of it's actually based on frequency and time, and therefore the signal there's a phase shift due to this negative refractive index, and this causes a imaginary phase change, which is actually this same non-commutative time frequency phase change. And so the mainstream scientists are saying that it's not valid because of the position momentum uncertainty principle, or the Heisenberg uncertainty principle of position and momentum of the particle. But if you study that Heisenberg uncertainty principle, it's actually derived from time frequency uncertainty as a more fundamental uncertainty principle, and the time frequency uncertainty originates from non-commutative phase. And the superluminal universe scientists, they use the term superradiating phase transition, and this is essentially, it's the same concept as non-commutative phase. So it is a reverse time negative frequency phase transition that they argue is the true source of the universe as a superluminal universe that is otherwise hidden to us modern left brain dominant humans. But they say that this the microtubules as metamaterials indicate a holographic universe that we can resonate with and tap into, and this would explain the extraordinary phenomenon that sometimes humans can exhibit, including